Hello, I thought I'd bring you a little review today of the Proboat Shockwave 26 version 3. I got this boat about a month ago on eBay. I believe the guy sells warranty returns because the boat was brand new in the box, had never been used, but it had a little broken part on the rudder which I was able to fix with stuff I have in my hobby box. So got it for 70 bucks plus $18 shipping. I felt like it was a pretty good deal. So without further ado, let's dive into under the cover. Alright, right now we're under the cover of the boat. As you can see, it's got a little gasket all the way around it. It's powered by a 2000 kV 4-pole brushless motor that is water cooled. It has the stock 30 amp dynamite speed controller, and this boat still has the stock ECX receiver set. And of course it has a standard Spectrum servo in it. That's pretty much all a standard for Proboat. I've got a 2S 5000 in it right now. Now, like I say, I bought this boat used, and it had never actually been used. So I re-greased the drive shaft out of the box. I took it out in the river and behind my house, and the boat drove really wet. It looked nice going through the water, but it wasn't really that fast. And after my first run, the drive line started to bind up on me. So, in the spirit of replacing, I went with my standard change, which is 1/4 inch brass tubing, a new flex shaft, and then you come back here to this Speedmaster Stinger drive, which is an amazing upgrade for any boat, in my opinion, because not only did it fix the driveline issues, but now I have this adjustability of the prop angle, which the stock boat does not have. So now I can make it run as dry or wet as I want. Now, I extended this rudder out. This isn't the final installation of how this rudder is going to get extended, but right now I'm just testing it. The only part that was broken on this boat out of the box was this part back here. And like I said, I have 10 of those in my hobby box. It really isn't that big a deal. Running the stock propeller with the new setup runs fine. You know, so anyway, let's put this thing in the water and show you some 2S videos and some 3S videos. Then I'll come back and do some final thoughts. Alright, we got the boat in the water. This is the 2S 5000 pack. It's a little choppy today, and I should probably turn that drive down, but as you can see on 2S, it moves along pretty nicely. Now 2S is good for rough water conditions like this, being this boat is not self-righting. It's less likely to flip over with less power. Yes, 5000. And you can see this boat is really quick. Alright, I'm back for for the after run thoughts. So after running this boat, it's a fun boat to drive with the modifications I've made. Needs to be tuned a little bit for the conditions currently. However, I'm not going to bother, being most of the time I run it, it's smooth and it does fine. Pros and cons. I think the biggest pro to me is that this boat is a very good crossover type boat, in that you can run 2S or 3S, and it has decent performance in 2S and really good performance in 3S. With that, it's good for if you're father-son, your son can run the 2S, you can run the 3S, everybody can have fun. So that is a good point to me. As far as the build quality, the motor mount's plastic. I think they should have done that in aluminum. Like I said, after one run, the factory drivetrain started to seize up on me. That's something that's well documented in reviews of this particular boat. However, after I replaced everything, I sent Proboat an email in which they replied that they had changed the design and that this was probably an older boat. So it's very possible that if you buy this boat tomorrow, that you won't have this problem. But if you do, Proboat has very good customer service, and they'll probably take care of you. But like I said, other than that, it has its perks, it has its drawbacks. I like the way it drives, I like the color. Compared to the older Shockwaves, which I've had pretty much every single one, this is probably one of the best ones they came up with. Other than that, like I say, with the right modifications, you can make it a really great boat. It's not really much to say. I mean, I guess if you were trying to, if you were torn between the Recoil 26 and the Shockwave 26, like I said, if you're looking for a good crossover boat for you and your kid, you know, 2S, 3S, this would be it. If you're just looking for an all-out 3S basher type boat, then the Recoil 26 would be it. Like I say, this boat, the major drawback is the boat is so narrow. It's very narrow, and it's not really that heavy, so it's prone to bouncing. It rolls over, it flips over, and when it flips over, it's not self-righting, so you got to go get it. Now, fortunately for me, when I run my RC boats, that's not a big deal, because I usually am sitting in a real boat, as you see around me. But for somebody sitting on a shoreline, that might be a little bit of a problem. But like I said, there are ways around it. If you're looking for a 2S, a boat that'll run 2S or 3S, for a kid, maybe you to play with, it's great. Another good advantage of being able to run 2 batteries and perform is that when your kid's young, you can start him out on 2S, run, you know, he can play around with it. Once he gets a little older and understands how to drive the boat and so forth, you can pop a 3S in there and have a lot of fun. Run times 2S, 3S generally anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, and it's quite fun. I like the boat, I like the color. There are a couple little build quality issues I don't really like, but overall, for what I paid, I think I got a pretty good deal. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And have a good one.